weren't learning the Constitution. They weren't learning history. They weren't learning what they needed to learn to be productive adults. I took my children out of school. I've homeschooled them. Now, as for my position with education, education needs to return to the parents. It does not take an entire city to raise a child, or a state, or a country to raise one child and educate them. The Department of Education on the federal level was never designed or originally put in place for what it's being used for today. It needs to be eliminated, and we need to return education back to the state and the parents.
Okay, and how about you stand on the economy?
Well, the economy, if we wouldn't have spent a year and a half arguing over health care, and we would have focused on our economy, we'd probably be coming out of this, what they call a recession, but most people I talk to anymore calling it a depression. But Washington just doesn't want to say that D word yet. But no, we need to get jobs back to the people. And one way to do that is through lowering taxes, especially payroll taxes on small businesses. We need to let small businesses start up again. They're what founded our country as small businesses. Small businesses are what keep this country going.
All right, and how about your stand on abortion?
I am 100% pro-life. I do not believe in abortion, especially in our society today. Abortion is being used as a birth control method, and that's not what it was. It shouldn't even be taken to that point. I believe we need to educate to prevent unwanted pregnancies. And I also believe that the only time it could ever be considered, and I'm right on line with the National Right to Life, is any type of crimes against a female, or if it ends up choosing between the life of the child or the mother. And government needs to stay out of those decisions, because that's between that mother's the one that has to live with that the rest of her life. Those would be the only circumstances. Other than that, like I said, it's not a birth control method. And even though they are unborn children, they still have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Okay, and what's your stand on gay, lesbian marriage rights?
Marriage is between a man and a woman. I don't believe in the gay marriage. I completely disagree with it. It's being pushed in front of our children on a daily basis. What someone does in their home is their own private business. I don't want to know about it. But it doesn't need to be brought out in front of our children. And I know a lot of people in Arizona agree with me. And a lot of people in the United States will agree with me. I don't discriminate someone because of their choices, but don't place it in front of my children, your children, or anyone else's children. Let them grow up and make their own decisions.
And so just to kind of put everything into a nice package, why should we vote for you instead of anybody else?
Why would I want everybody to vote for me instead of my opponent? Well, August 24th, we've all got to make a choice. Either we're going to keep things the way they are. Granted, me and my opponent are both considered very conservative. I've outdone him on conservative levels on several different questionnaires. But I'm the one with the voice. I'm not afraid to get up and tell somebody when they're wrong. I had a good friend, someone I consider to be a good friend, who's running in another race, and when he did something wrong, I called him out on it. When he would not make it right, I called him out on it publicly. I will fight for Arizona. I will fight for this country. I have in the past, when I swore in to uphold the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, when I joined the military. From the day that started, there was no time frame of when that ended. I will continue to serve, and I'll continue to fight. And right now, we need somebody that's going to fight. I tell a lot of people, once I'm elected as a junior member in Congress, I probably will not be able to get one bill through in support of our Constitution, because I'm not going to sell out to the special interests. I'm not going to play the games that are going on in Washington now. It's not what our founding fathers wanted. He wanted citizen candidates, and that's what I am. I'm a real citizen candidate. I don't want it to be a life job. When I get there, they're not going to support me on my bills because I'm not going to bow down to their games that they've been playing for hundreds of years now. Okay. But what I will do is every time they go against me and shut me down, I will make it very clear and very well known through national media or whatever other ways possible to their voters of what they're doing and how they're not supporting their state.
All right. And so for those who choose not to vote, they forget to vote, or they just can't get to the polling place, do you have any words of encouragement to kind of get them to get that voice heard and go ahead and vote this election?
We all need to vote. I always grew up hearing I'm only one vote, my vote don't count. Yes, your vote does count, believe it or not. There has been times I thought the same way. But now I'm really realizing that no, every single vote counts. We need everybody, especially those of us that really love our country and want to see it get back to the way it was originally intended by our founding fathers 234 years ago. We all need to get out and vote. Get out. If you're not registered now, you need to get registered to vote so you can at least vote in the November elections. If you are already registered, you need to get out and vote on the primaries August 24th. If you can't get to the polling place, call anybody. Call a friend. Ask a friend to take you down. Some of the different parties will also assist you. Call the GOP, the Republican headquarters here in Kingman. Call the Democratic headquarters here locally. Somebody can get you to a polling place.
Excellent. Well, Charles, thank you so much for coming and telling us about yourself today.
I really appreciate you having me today.
All right, and remember that we do have an amazing freedom to choose in this country. So let's get out there on August 24th and November 2nd and make our choices at the polls. If you aren't able to make it to the polls and need to request a mail-in ballot, or you have a question about voting in Mojave County, call voter registration at 928-753-0767. Again, that's voter registration at 928-753-0767. You've been listening to the Kingman Clipboard, KGPS's new show bringing you important local news and interviews. Continue listening on Tuesdays at 10:15 a.m. We'll be talking to more local and state politicians in the coming weeks to help you learn about your choices. And if you've missed the past interviews, visit www.kgps.org and then click on the events link kind of in the middle of the screen, and you will find the link to the interviews. Now, they're kind of like a 6 font, so they're kind of small, but they'll be there, and you can click on those and listen to everyone we've interviewed so far. Well, I hope to see you at the polls. Goodbye, and God bless.